evaporate at any moment. He has the meter now. Uses the EX, gets baited. This could be curtains.
Oh, he misses it!
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet.
He's just so afraid to touch a button.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
Cossner takes it.
That's what people say. Oh, Reptile's doing his invisibility thing, just kind of poke out.
Yeah.
But you don't know when to poke out because you don't know if he's safe or not because you don't know what he's doing.
No.
Nice setup.
Very good.
Control. Complete control. Cossner is complete control right now.
Absolutely.
KZ trying to come back with some form of offense.
The Reptile did not walk behind it like a human shield the way a lot of them like to. Like at some point you do have to block the Lao hat, so
It makes him, it like puts him in check, if you will.
yes. Cossner getting great use out of it. This is a decent life lead here, but again, I told you, Reptile is robbery the character. I might have spoke too soon though. And you know he robs is the reason.
She can flawless block.
Yep. Think we can get off of this. Still some beefy stuff at 323. And Cossner. What a read again! Back to back in the same situation. And Cossner's going up 2-0.
Oh, I wish you guys had seen.
Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Poseidcast. With me tonight I am joined by a fellow Reptile player, legend in the NRS community, at least to me, has been playing the Reptile man since MK9, maybe even before then. We'll find out more about that as we get into it, but I'm joined by Cossner. Cossner, how you doing tonight, brother?
I'm doing great.
Oh, awesome. Doing great. I'd love to hear it. So, you're someone like when I think of previous like Reptile mains in like previous games, because I didn't really compete much in with MKX days, MK9 days. You're first person I think of, honestly. What got you into competitive Mortal Kombat, or was it Injustice that got you into the first game, or your first like?
No, MK9. Oh yeah, no, since 2011. What got me was that I would buy games to play for the summer when I was in college, and then I was like, this summer it's gotta be Killzone 2, and then I would just play that for 3 months. And then for 2011 it was Mortal Kombat 9. I was like, well, let me finish Portal 2, and then I'll play Mortal Kombat 9. And I didn't like the old ones because I had the Wii one, whatever it was, Deception or Armageddon, one of those. I think it was Armageddon. With the Wiimote, horrible. I never really liked it much, and I played it like very casually. So like I wasn't like, a fighting game player or anything. And then, was Mortal Kombat 9, and then I got into it, and then I got really into it. And boy, it was like such a scrub because I even played the demo and everything, and I would play with my brother. And the moment I discovered I could uppercut, it was over. And my brother would always just complain that I'm a spammer. That I'm spamming uppercut.
Classic.
Of course. And then I went online and I was like, oh man, because the AI would do combos. And I'm like, oh my god, who can do that? So my first main was actually Sector in MK. In like,
classic.
Whatever it was, March, April of 2011. And I learned like a very basic, 4-4-3 or whatever it was, teleport combo. And I'm like, well, you know what? I like jobbers. I like characters that are like, they're not the main character. They're not the villains. They're just like, the side characters that nobody likes. And I'm like, who is like the most unremarkable whatever character? Reptile. What a
you're right. You're
right. In the story mode, right?
Yeah.
When I hung out a little bit and
speak,
just
like...
He was like a poor Reptile. He didn't get any justice in the Mortal Kombat 9 story mode. And I'm like, I'm just gonna play him. I really like the movement, it's very cool. And I went online, practiced a single BNB, and I went online, and I got addicted. And then I would do nothing but play Mortal Kombat 9 ranked, non-stop. It got so bad that, I had one of those early plasma TVs. It was huge. I saved a lot of money for it, and I paid it like in a year, monthly payments. And the looking for games logo of MK9 got burned in the middle.
That's
when I moved to
awesome.
America, I gave my TV to my cousin, and it just like at all times, you just see the Mortal Kombat logo in the movie. So, but I loved it, and I remember there was this kid. I don't remember his name right now. It's Scorpion 187 or something like that. He was like the top 1, 2, 3 or whatever in the leaderboards, and the only reason why he would win is because he would do cross-ups. So, I mean, you remember Enkanai Neko was atrocious, so he could get away with doing that. You couldn't anti-air.
Yeah.
And he told me, there's like a competitive world out there. It's not just us playing, right? And I'm like, really? Let me see. So then I just went online, and I searched for internet forums, and I remember finding MKO, MKU, what was it? Kamidogu, I think that was French or whatever. And then eventually I landed on Teshermite. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is where it's at. Teshermite. And then, that back in the day, if you weren't in Teshermite, you didn't know anything about the game. Because that's where you had the frame data, and that's where the people were talking about the matchups and tech and everything. And then, I would lurk the Reptile forums, and I would just see what's up, and people would stream there, and they would post, I'm streaming, and I'm like, oh, okay. So, I was really getting into it because I was doing so good in online ranked. Because, they said you with like people who don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So,
What else
I was like,
yeah.
I'm really good. I didn't know what I was doing, right? So, but I remember that early on, there was this streamer called AU Digimon. He would stream, and I kind of stream snipe him a little bit. And he was just playing sets with random people. And I'm like, oh yeah, can I play or whatever? Yeah. So we started playing. And he was kind of like, this kid, whatever. And I started beating his ass and just winning. And I won like 5 games in a row. And I'm like, oh, wait, he knows combos. Hold up. And through that stream is how I met Guamo, Insuperable, Revolver,
Ooh,
and then they're like, oh, we do this King of the Hill, we call it the Wharf, and we hang out I don't remember what it was every Friday or something, but and then I would just log in and we would hang out and play there, upping about whatever on the streams, and then I'm like, all right, well, let me see what's going on in Mexico, the country, right? Because I was there at the time, and then I found out like there's this organizer back in the day called Team La Cueva, and they would run like Street Fighter stuff, but they would also run like different fighting game stuff, like King of Fighters and that sort of stuff, and they would run tournaments in Mexico City. So then I started going there, and I remember I would take a bus, 8 hours to Mexico City, and I would play with the guys over there, with Mikelo, which I think you guys pronounce as Mike Lou.
Awesome.
Under the Mayo and like Bebe Saudi, and there's a bunch of other people. Chef, who's like now like a big Liga Latina streamer or whatever. But it's just very funny to see how everyone has aged. Because I was 21. Yeah. That was 14 years ago. Yeah. But it's like the same people, we're still there. Yeah. And and then it wasn't until MLG Dallas. I was gonna go to MLG Rally, but they didn't give me my passport on time. So I decided to go to MLG Dallas, and it was expensive, but I really wanted to go. And that's where I hung out with Troy Lightfoot, Club on Stroke, who back in the day he was like a big Johnny Cage player, and he was a lot of fun to hang out with. And he was like, I work as a recruiter, so like you're a software developer. Why don't you just find you some some places to interview? And that's how I came here, right? So in 2014 I got a job here, and then I moved here, and like my first tournament here was like Summer Jam 2014 for Injustice 1. But yeah, I mean that's kind of an introduction, I guess, of how I got here. I kind of went overboard.
Yeah, that's cool because like you talked about how you're almost like basically got a job kind of through like your connections at MK, and it's like just goes to show that like this community is more than just like playing the game. Like you build legitimate connections, and then sometimes if you're in the same field as someone else, because you said you have people who are software engineers, you have people who are doctors, you have people who are teachers, and all different walks of life. So it definitely goes beyond just the game in a you know, in a sense. So you said that you your first tournament in America was DreamHack Dallas, right? What did you say? MLG. Dallas.
Back in the day, it was MLG. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How'd you end up doing that tournament?
I think I got 25th.
25th?
Yeah.
I mean, how many people were there? We get into that. I mean, that number sounds nice, but out of 1,000, that's nice. Out of like 100, that's pretty good.
No. The community was much smaller back then.
Yeah.
But it was like the one of the largest tournaments, I think. So yeah, it was 100 and something people.
Ooh, nice.
But I remember losing to Pig of the Hut, and it was like super close. Best Reptile I've ever played, and I'm like, yeah. But yeah. But back then, I remember that it was thought that Melina Reptile was like 8-2-7-3 unwinnable for Reptile. So, you know, he was a very like
Reptile player.
And then it was like, I was this close to beating him, so that was a lot of fun. And then I think I lost to Showtime in losers. He used Sonya. Now that's an unwinnable matchup. Dude, that's horrible. It's horrible. Yeah. Everyone knows this.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. I remember hanging out with a lot of players. You know, Wonder Chef was there. It's like the Reptile gang. This Joker guy who was there. You know, Tyler Lantern was there. Like everyone who was Reptile was at that tournament, so that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, to meet up.
And you know, you had great players like Black Brian was there, and you know, Revolver. You know, all the Texas people were there. Houston Cat, and all these old names. Yeah, Matzin. That's where I met Matzin for the first time. The German player who big sponsor to come and participate. So incredible noob Cybot. Like that character was horrible, unusable. It's crap. But he would make it work.
Yeah.
So no, it was a lot of fun because I mean Jer was there and Zav, and it was very cool because back in the day, you know, it was not so much as today where you have Twitter and you know everyone kind of knows each other and that sort of stuff. Like back then, it was like you didn't have that immediate access. You had Test Your Might, and that's it.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun to finally meet these people that you have been arguing for like a year, 2 years, or whatever.
Yeah.
And back in the day, we would do threads about tournaments and be like, you know, these are the people that I met in this tournament. Props to this guy who did very good and that sort of stuff. So it was like very magical and special. Not saying that that's not magical and special for people nowadays, but I was technically kind of new, you know?
Yeah.
I've been playing for like a year, and, you know, I follow all these people on Twitter, or not, on Teshmaya and on the streams, and, you know, we play them online, and finally meeting them in person, it was very, very special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, like the community like exists on the Test Your Might, but like unless you were going to these tournaments, there wasn't really a community out there. Like now you say like, oh, there's Twitter and there's Discords and there's online tournaments every single day that like you can be an active or even a really big part of the community without even having to leave your room. So it's definitely calm. It's definitely interesting hearing about the perspective of what it was like back in just 2011. Compared to what it is now. So definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it was because of the nature of online. Online was horrible.
Yeah.
It was just atrocious. Like, really, I cannot use enough words to express my disdain for Mortal Kombat Online, Mortal Kombat 9 Online. To use the delay-based methods, it was like just the worst.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we would still do tournaments and stuff, but it was kind of a joke.
Yeah.
You know, you had these people, like, I don't want to say any names, but I will say names. People like Hoofer and stuff, people that would really, like, build themselves as this super top player, and then it was very obvious that they were just getting away with things.
Yeah,
you know?
they were just kind of abusing what worked online.
Abusing the lag and all that sort of stuff. You can't do that anymore. Nowadays, online is way more legitimate, which allows it allows everyone to level up, and also because the game gives you more information, right? So the training mode that Mortal Kombat 1 has is like extraordinary, and we didn't have it before. Like, imagine little old Daniel had to go and figure out that combos were something that existed.
Yeah, right? No, exactly. Same way.
Had I not gone out of my way to find all these different mechanics and how they worked, I would have never known that wake ups have invincibility frames, but only sometimes.
Yeah.
And frame data.
100% frame data. This is minus. This is plus. You know.
Right.
Down to is a high, and you can duck it. Like.
Yeah. And we didn't have that repository of knowledge like Street Fighter or Tekken or all these different communities that were more established over time. So, yeah, Teshmite, and that's it. So, you know, it would make offline extra special because it would really be like, this is where you prove yourself.
Yeah, this is like, you get like only a couple opportunities like a year. Exactly.
You can talk all you want, but this is where you prove yourself, right?
Yeah.
And you know, there was no money.
Yeah.
No money. They were delusional people, of course, that would think like, I'm gonna make a career out of this. But there was no money. And even when there was money, then sometimes they wouldn't pay out, like Devastation 2011 and all these tournaments that would they would pack up their bags and leave, and you would never see people getting paid. If you ever have one cowboy, you should ask him about some Texas tournament, Verizon tournament or something that never paid him. There was this big controversy about it, and
oh man,
you know, it happens, and it was like very common back then.
That's sad.
But you know what? It was just about the props.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It was about the props. Things changed during MKX and Injustice 2, where there was more money.
Yeah.
Even early MK11, I think there was some money involved. But
yeah, I mean, like, there was like a tournament, like a major month. So when I got into the game was competitive scene was the beginning, well, the end of Injustice 2, beginning of MK11. So I was around when it was like, oh, there's these, there was a previous Pro Tour, and then there was a Pro Tour for Injustice 2, and there's tournaments like every month or even more frequently than that. And then MK11 came around, and immediately as soon as MK11 out, there was a big tour, but there was a tournament like once or twice a month, and like just watching all these. I remember I went to Combo Breaker, Altitude, like 2019. Didn't know what I was doing. Like I didn't, because I played MK like literally my whole life, but it was just down to special moves. My combos were like chaining special moves together. It was like I can chain like 3 special moves together, and I thought I was like, this is so cool. Like lab it for like hours.
Like, you were a Combo Breaker, and I mean, I didn't know you back then.
Yeah.
But I guess we were in the same room at some point in time without even knowing each other until like 3-4 years later.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I remember like I went back and looked at the results like later on, like years later, and I think I saw you did pretty good. You got like top 24 or something like that, right? Or did you?
Maybe 32. I did make it out of pools, and I think I made a couple matches after that. I do remember losing to Buffalo.
Lost to Buffalo?
Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember who sent me to losers. Yeah. They did Newbie, which was very special, because Newbie's excellent, very good. I remember beating him.
Nice. Newbie, yeah. I think isn't this? Nah, I don't know.
Yeah, he's back. He's been playing MK1 a little bit.
Okay.
Florida. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, the name kind of sounds familiar. I remember I went to that tournament. It was Combo Breaker 2019. And it was first to 2. Dude, I O2'd that bracket like so fast. They're like, pools already, come play your match. Like I literally I call my match, I play, sit down, lose 2-0 like in like 3 minutes.
Hold up. I'm thinking of 2017.
2017.
Because that was Injustice 2. 2019 was MK11.
Yes, 2019.
MK11 was the one that I did. No, CEO was the one that I did great. Combo Breaker, I got my ass kicked by Punk.
You lost to Punk?
Oh my god.
I remember Punk did pretty good. I remember seeing him on stream. Horrible. Yeah.
Oh my god. Super side story.
Yeah.
I remember that 2019 Combo Breaker was the worst tournament I've ever been to. The tournament was great.
Yeah.
The venue was great. Everything was great. Yeah. Problem was, my airplane got delayed. I was supposed to leave New Jersey at like 5 p.m. Get there at 10.
Yeah.
No, not even. Whatever. Not even. It was like, I think I left my house at like 5 or something like that. And then you got delayed until early morning. So I got to Combo Breaker at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was supposed to arrive the day before.
Yeah.
So
rough.
So basically just arrived, and then I think Mr. Aquaman let me take a nap in his room for like half an hour, and then I had to play. It was horrible.
Damn.
So I was like hallucinating. I think Miguel had to walk me like a zombie, and I was like, with no sleep. I could not sleep. It was horrendous. I felt so bad.
Yeah.
Now I remember. I used to play Sub-Zero.
You played Sub-Zero?
Why would I do that?
I mean, no Reptile and no Sector, you know.
No Reptile. Yeah, there was no one for me. I'm like, all right, I guess I'll do Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
It seems easy enough.
That's
Yeah.
fair. Yeah, you gotta
I
find
think I
a
ended
character.
up picking up Sonya. Because, I always had this mentality of, like, play the characters you hate.
No.
Because, they'll, if you struggle with a matchup and you're like, oh my god, I'm playing as Sonya, ugh,
Yeah.
what do you even do against that character?
Yeah.
You pick them up.
Yeah.
And then you learn, oh, they have these issues and these gaps and whatever.
Yeah.
This is how you lose to them or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's what I think in NK11 I played like 15 different characters.
Mm-hmm.
I played a lot of them.
Yeah.
I didn't do great in that game, but I did play a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
Nice. I mean, that's what it's all about, man. I know you ended up settling on Cabal. When did you end up settling on Cabal?
Nightwolf and Cabal, yeah.
Nightwolf and Cabal? Did
I-
you play
I,
Nightwolf? I don't recall ever seeing the Nightwolf.
This guy. He's gonna.
He was
I love Nightwolf because he was very simple,
Uh-huh.
but he was very fundamentally strong. Like you needed to have good fundamentals to do well with him.
Mhm.
And I've he didn't really have many gimmicks or anything. He had like,
Nothing.
it was mainly for his character.
Yeah.
Like no real mix or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I like that. So had a lot of fun with that with him. And then I lost really bad to the Sonic Ninja guy.
Mm.
He's from the
That's
UK.
good.
Sure. I have no idea. But he beat me so bad.
Yeah.
So bad. Like, like 13-0 horrible.
Yeah.
That I ended up just picking up Cabal.
Cabal.
I'm like, this character is fucking insane. Let me pick up Cabal.
Yeah.
And then I really like him. So I just stuck with him. And then, yeah.
Funny side story about that. I was actually, Tweety was streaming a couple days ago, and this guy named Gotham City Goon was in the chat. I'm like, isn't that Sonic Ninja? So I asked him, he was like, yeah, and then he started talking about it. He's like, yeah, my name is Sonic Ninja before Sonic Fox or Ninja Killer were even in the scene. And so how ironic did that end up being? He's like, yeah, I had to change it, so it's Gotham City Goon now. So he goes by.
I thought it was because of Sonic Ninja because it's funny.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But it turned it's like, yeah, it's been since 2012. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
Wow.
I was like, that's actually really funny. The two best players just end up being the halves.
What a coincidence.
Yeah, because you really think like I thought like, oh yeah, you just Sonic Ninja, yeah, of course. That's funny though.
Yeah.
So I remember you said you didn't really like MK11. How would you rank? Like you've been. What?
No, I do like MK11.
You like
I'm one of
MK11?
the
I thought you hated
people-
it. I thought you didn't like
I'm
it.
one of the no. Mike Metric hates.
Oh, I know,
MK11.
Mike. Yeah, I know you would
Everyone
rants,
hates
man.
it. I like MK11. I'm like one of the 3 people in the world that like MK11.
Oh, I loved MK11.
So here's the thing.
Near and dear to my heart.
Here's the thing about MK11. Okay, the top tiers were very poorly designed,
Yeah.
and it's a trend with NetherRealm, and they never got touched.
Yeah.
So Jackie, Setri, and Fujin. They were so bullshit that they kind of ruined the game for me, right? I should have picked them up. I know how to play Jackie,
Yeah.
but I don't know why I didn't like her. It was just like slimy.
Yeah. Same. I feel
But then I
that.
couldn't never figure out Fujin because it was like, my fingers.
Yeah.
And also like as a 35-year-old, you have limited amount of time
Yeah.
to sit down and grind and learn and everything.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm like, all right, this is the most I'm gonna get out of this game.
Yeah.
I'll play a couple of days here and then I'll be done with it.
Yeah.
No, but I did enjoy MK11. The game that I didn't like was Injustice 2, which is the shirt that I'm wearing right now,
Yeah,
as you can see.
Funny enough.
Injustice 2 is one that I said I don't want to touch this game.
How long
I
did
don't
it
know.
take you to kind of come to that conclusion? Was it right away, or did you play it
Yes.
for a little
So kinda. So there was a tournament called the Hometown Hero, GameStop Hometown Heroes,
bit?
and they had regional qualifiers. And I was I got like 3rd in the New York East Coast one, and then after that, so here's the thing. It was there was a tournament. I don't remember which one. There was a tournament before that. Then there was the Hometown Heroes, and then there was Summer Jam, NEC, one of the Big E tournaments. And in every single one of them, I got a fucking Dr. Fate. So, I got Peanut, I got Bidon, I got Pig. Everyone who would use fucking Dr. Fate, I got them. Chris, the Magician. And basically was the only character I would lose to. And
You playing Green Arrow?
laughed.
You playing Green Arrow?
Green Arrow, and I laughed that matchup so hard. And then I realized that matchup was just almost unwinnable. there's nothing you could have done at that point in time, right?
Mm-hmm.
They balanced it. I don't know after the balance patch is how it is, so don't quote me on that. But at that point in time for that patch, that matchup was 9-1 probably. It was so bad. You could not throw the arrows because your traits would be like, you lose 5% and he will lose 1, right? Because the arrows did 1.
Yeah.
Even if you load like something, like he could just block the very slow ice arrow, the fire arrows, and then continue doing it. And then he had that little push shit that would push him at a perfect distance where forward 2 wouldn't reach. So then I would have no options when he would do his own block. I could not punish that. The perfect, I don't know, they tested it or something so that you couldn't do it. And it's not like, you can, like in other Mortal Kombat games where you can do like a micro dash or whatever, or walk a little bit and then do it. You cannot do that in Injustice. In Injustice, you're stuck in the dashes, right? And the very slow walk, and that's it. And I don't know if they changed it, but the roll at the time, just a ton of recovery frames, horrendous. And I'm like, do I want to play a game that has 9-1 matchups? And then I played a lot of Injustice 1, for a long time. I think I was like number 2 in the leaderboards of fucking Injustice 1.
And Green Arrow was bad in that. Wasn't Green Arrow bad in that game?
No shit. Bottom 5 character. I love him. I love him. He was horrible.
Yeah.
But it was the same deal, right? There were matchups in Injustice 1 that were unwinnable.
Yeah.
You think that Lex Luthor Zod matchup was bad? There were like 30 of those.
Yeah.
The only difference is that Revolver was very public about that, and there was a video with Indy talking about it and everything that went viral. But there were a ton of matchups like that. Green Arrow had like 5 of those.
Yeah.
Lex Luthor was like 9-1.
Yeah.
Like horrible. I remember playing Revolver one set and it was like 50-0. And I not even thinking around.
Yeah.
And he's telling me, we'll try this. Nothing worked. Martian Manhunter, unwinnable. Forget it. Like you would throw. So here's the thing. Now I'm ranting now.
No, go for it.
Deviating the conversation, but Green Arrow throws arrows, right?
Yeah.
So he cannot block while he's doing this. The moment I do this, teleport, full combo point. Great. So what am I supposed to do? Because the thing that he does, he should have got him arrows, right? So you could never get close to him because he had that stupid push that you couldn't punish. Because again, Green Arrow's most forward advancing normals forward too, and he doesn't really reach that because he's not meant to be like a long range physical guy. He's a zoner. He's a zoner with very mediocre zoning that requires resources to do any decent damage. And they changed that for Injustice 2, and they add the back 2 strength, I think. But he still has some of the fundamental issues. And one of the things that really broke my heart, that low-key kind of also made me hate the game a little bit, was that I got the game before. I guess it's fine to say that before launch, right?
Just.
So I played the before patch, and there was this thing where Green Arrow, if he held the arrow and he jumped, he was immune to projectiles, and this happened in Injustice 1. So, great, and he had that in Injustice 2. And he had invincible frames on the wake up because that's one of the strengths that Green Arrow has, is that the wake up game was very good. Because you could do Savage Blast, you could do the slide, you could do the up arrow, whatever, or the Hurricane Blade or whatever, and they removed that in the first patch. They removed the frame and removed the zoning invincibility. So Dr. Fate, had I been able to just load the arrow and then he's shooting a projectile, jump to avoid, then it would have been a completely different matchup. Then it would have been playable. But they removed it. So they made him horrible, a horrible character. And their big solution was just to add a normal that allows him to launch without the ice arrow. But it was still like too little too late, and they never really fixed the fundamental core issues. And, I'm sure nobody from NetherRealm is going to listen to this, but kind of heard stories because I have friends who work there, of designers that were kind of not, I'm going to say it very nicely, they were unsure of their designs and how to fix some of their character designs. They were asking for feedback that was kind of like, shouldn't you know this?
No.
You know, rock, paper, scissors, you know, high risk, high reward, basic staples of game design.
Wisdom.
So I was very disappointed with it. I didn't think they were capable of fixing the game at a fundamental level.
Yeah.
So I'm spending way too much time just being angry at this.
Yeah.
At matches that are unsolvable. I need unlimited time to pick, you know, new characters and the most broken stuff if I want to remain competitive. And at that point in my time and my life, I didn't want to do that. When Rio moved in, he lived with me for like 2-3 years, and he would stream Injustice and Mortal Kombat 9 all the time. So when he played MK9, I would play with him, but Injustice I would like yucky.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't wanna say that, you know, if you enjoy Injustice, that it's a terrible game and you should be ashamed. No. If you want that, and you have the time and the, you know, the brain patience to handle that sort of stuff, you know, more power to you. You know, like have the shirt. You know, it's a very pretty game. It had its great fun moments. Not for me. I would not do Injustice 1 again. I would not do Injustice 2 again. If they launch Injustice 3, and Superman is still the same, and Batman is the same.
Well, it's kind of like the whole, like, because Mortal Kombat's aren't really legacy games, but Injustice games are, right? So it's like, I know people were like, one of like the biggest critiques is like, if they do Injustice 3, like, don't make it a legacy, like, redo everything from like the ground up. That was like some of like the biggest feedback I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, I would love for them to, you know, scratch it, the whole game, or throw it out and make something new. I do like the fact that they're not legacy games, and they don't need to be legacy games because the fundamental knowledge is still like the way to be good is a concrete, objective thing, right? It's not this, you know, elusive thing or whatever. No, there's fundamentals. If you understand how the mental stack works, if you know how to construct a proper game plan, if you know how to optimize and min-max your combos, and how to create setups, and how to create uncomfortable situations for the opponent that they have to solve, you're gonna be a good player. Yeah. And that's in every game. That's in MK9, in MKX, Injustice 1, Injustice 2, whatever. MK11, MK1. It's the same. The only thing that changes is like the special move is the same or not. Yeah. You know, like who cares? Yeah. Give me great movement option. MK1 has great movement. I love that. It's very similar to MK9. MKX is okay in movement, but I like the MK9, MK1 movement.
Really?
I
love
like
MK11
that.
movement. I loved it.
I think MK11 movement is horrendous.
That's the really?
Maybe there's a couple mechanics that let MK11 not be as great as it could have been. Movement is one of it. Because I don't know why they got rid of the dash blocking. I understand that Paulo doesn't like it, and he thinks the animation cancels it. But it just feels right to play, you know? Like, I have control over my space. I like that. Give me control. That's what I want. Also, Breakaway was. Who had that idea? No, don't design games. Go do the toilets.
I liked when they added Armor Breaker. I liked...
That was fun.
Having, because then it's a mind game on it, and it's like, I mean, not to cut you off, but I mean, my first competitive game was Smash, and like, you have there's like built-in like defensive options, like DI and stuff like that, or directional influence, if you guys don't know, and that allows you to kind of like evade combos, escape certain things if you're able to do it right. But then it adds a mind game where like, oh, if they read your DI, then you know, then they can get a combo extension or kill you. It was kind of like a little bit like that with the Breakaway, where it's like, okay, you can break from this combo, but if they do the Armor Breaker, then you eat an even bigger combo. So it's like,
no, I
understand why people didn't like it, but
I agree with what you just said, but I don't think the game it really worked the way that it was. Right? One, I understand that people complain like, well, you know, the combo, you were doing the optimal combo, and you're getting punished for doing the combo, and you know what? Fine. I would have a special BNB that is like, okay, if I delay one or whatever, if they break away, I won't get punished. If so, whatever. It just had a little bit of complexity to the BNB. I'm fine with that. My problem was, I am walking you in. You're zoning me. I'm walking. I'm crouch blocking. I get hit once, and because I'm crouch blocking, I do breakaway.
Yeah.
Why am I breakaway?
Mistake away. Yeah.
Sure. Why would you do that?
Making breakaway and block the same button was definitely a mistake. Like 100%. Very strange.
Horrible.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, a lot of people are complaining about the meter gain and the fact that you don't have to work for it.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Mm.
You know, it was, alright. Some characters have better meter gain than others.
Yeah.
You know, like, in this game we have, what's her name? Serena?
Yeah.
Giving Zarax a ton of meter while taking a ton of meter for you. Like,
Yeah,
is that better?
Who can do the cancels and just
I don't know
build
about
meter, you know?
Yeah. Like, sure, you have Cetrion that would just like zone you out the entire game and then build a little meter and then do the.
That was the one thing, is it made runaway very strong because you didn't you didn't really need to do anything.
Right.
You didn't need to commit anything. You didn't even need to do a special move. Like, you literally were just gaining the meter back, so you didn't have to do anything for it. Yeah.
Right. I don't mind that too much, but
I don't mind it really either.
a lot of people like really rip their shirts because of that. My main issue was like movement was ass, breakaway was ass. I didn't even mind the waking up.
Oh.
I think the way people hated that.
There was a lot of defensive options, but I thought it was kind of cool because it just made mind games. It wasn't just like
I you know what?
Roll.
Never really minded it too much. Yeah, I think it was just mostly the character design and the breakaway stuff. That's what held that game back. Also, the characters were huge, and I do agree that sure there was less creativity in the combos, but the same people saying that I don't see them posting. You know, check combo compilations or anything like that.
Yeah, with all the different cameos in this game, because you look at all the different combo variety you get now. You can just throw in a different cameo and get different BBs and stuff like that. No, I think it's really cool.
I think that's really cool. I think it's magical. The fact that you're able to get so much juice for your squeeze.
Yeah.
With the cameos and stuff. My only problem is like when there's really fucked up stuff, and it's like, well, we fix it. Who knows? You know. Reptile, how he was releasing, and I'm changing the conversation, but like MK1 Reptile, launch Reptile is probably one of the worst design characters of all time.
Oh my god, bro! I would like just to like go down memory lane. I remember someone asked like, okay, I remember like I like Tom Brady made a tweet like saying like, oh, Sub-Zero has received all these buffs, but he's still bad. Like none of them helped or something like that. And I kind of like just did like a copy pasta of that, and people were like, and someone was like, what buffs has Reptile gotten other than like the stand 3? And I literally just listed all of the buffs, and I was like, how is this character playable? Like how are we winning anything with this character? Like, how are we winning combat league sets? Like
I genuinely feel I was getting away with murder. Like when I was doing ECT and NEC and all this stuff, I was getting away with murder because people it had to be.
Yeah.
Because standing 3 was barely usable.
No, you couldn't use it. Yeah, no, it was useless.
Sonya did not exist in this state. That she got super buff too. But like, back to.
Yeah.
Oh, back to balls my.
Unsafe.
It was 19 frame overhead. That is minus 13. That did 5%. That does not combo.
Yeah.
Why? What? How?
We had the charge back to was 46 frames. It wasn't even plus. Like when did you ever hit that?
Yeah. Like, remember that they released EX Invisibility? Didn't do anything.
Yeah, it didn't do anything. Yeah, there was no difference at all.
Anything. Forward 2, 4 was full combo punishable. He basically had back 3-1. And people will bitch about back 3-1.
Yeah.
Back 3-1 is whatever. It's the most whatever string in the game. I had a gap,
and every part, it was like you're like, yeah, you would have to do. Yeah, it was if you completed the full string, it was minus 23. It still is, but and then you would have to do dash, which was full combo punishable at the flawless spot, and it had a gap. There was 3 separate gaps. It was between the first and second and third, and then in the dash there was a gap, and you could just flawless block it.
Always punishable.
Yeah.
It was always punishable. So like. Yeah. You wouldn't want to do it. So then, even if you do back 3-1, Luca and Lu Mei can just punish it.
Outright punish it. Yeah, Kung Lao.
Kung Lao, yeah. So it's just what, and the balls. The balls are probably the worst they've ever been. I mean, it's fine now because they kind of complement the character.
Yeah.
And he needs to have weaknesses, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But in MK9, you could hold the ball, use it as anti-air, or as a pressure tool, or as a setup.
To, like mix up the timing. Yeah,
a very cool thing that I love about MK9 Reptile was the once you finish the combo, you get to choose what you want to do, right? You can either finish with a lot of damage if they don't block, because he has a glitch. Can I oh, as a glitch? If you finish with standing 2-4, 3-1 plus 3 or something like that. I haven't played in a minute, okay? If they don't block, it will hit them by extra 7% on scale 7%. So it will do 42%. If they block it, you're plus 8.
Nice.
And it just reinstants them, which means that you don't have to do wake up and you're plus 8.
Yeah.
Wonderful. But you can also finish with 3-1 invisibility, make them full screen and you're fully invisible, right? 3-1 slow force ball. You hold it a little bit and then you elbow dash. It leaves you right on their face with a force ball behind where they cannot press buttons or they're gonna get punished. And then you can do 3-1 and it pushes them away from the force ball. So they still can't do anything.
Yeah.
The only way to escape is by jumping forward, but you can read that and neutral jump punch them.
Yeah.
So gives you enormous amount of like
mind games
you know
and stuff and options.
if you just use the bar for that, a ton of mind games. I love that.
Yeah.
So you can finish with elbow dash, elbow dash, elbow dash if you want to be a leader and then be in their faces, right? You can finish with elbow dash and then kind of dash a little bit and it will switch their inputs because your corpse walk them. So you can use that and then graph.
Yeah.
And then if you graph forward, you can corpse walk them again, and then they have to guess. Because if you don't do that and they try to wake up the other way, it's not gonna come out. But if you do that and they do the normal wake up, it's not gonna come out. And then you can loop them like that. I love MKN Reptile. Like, we can tell that it was an accident because he has like 3 or 4 strings that are useless that don't do anything. So that it was a miracle that MKN Reptile functions, but it has so many cool, interesting setups. So that to me, that was great about it. And then you go to MK1 Reptile. You know, release Reptile, and what did he have? Back 3-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, the worst force balls that they've ever been. Like on reaction, you can punish by just jumping over them.
Yeah.
You cannot hold them or anything like that. Elbow dash, EX elbow dash, useless.
Yeah.
It was every time you use it, you're gonna get punished. You're gonna get flawless block. You're gonna get punished.
Yeah.
Even if I wish, you know what, they made it safe, which is great. I'm sure you can armor in between, but they made it safe. So I can't complain at all. But you know what? Maybe let me delay the timing because otherwise, the fact that it goes makes it such an easy flawless block, right?
Oh yeah, man, it's super easy.
So it made it a useless move.
Yeah.
That was completely useless.
Yeah.
Forward 2-4. There's no overhead mix.
Yeah.
Unless you have someone like Sonya, which again she didn't even operate that way, or Scorpion or something like that.
Yeah.
Which was unsafe back then. They made it plus, remember? It used to be unsafe.
Yeah.
If you did something like forward to Scorpion overhead or forward to low, both options were full combo punish up.
Yeah.
You know? So like standing 3
was like
you could not cancel it and you were like it would suck them in.
Yeah.
But you were like -6 or -7.
Yeah.
So spit. Useless,
yeah.
Yeah, kind of useless, right? What do you do with spit?
Yeah, you do nothing. You know, like it's still a useless move. It's still
pretty useless. Even EX spit is kind of useless, and even the projectile they gave him, like
oh my god, no, it's so bad. Maybe if it was like it just
I
came out right away. Yeah, like how long do you have to wait for it? Like, it just takes so long. It's like you just like double pump the fucking spit. It's like maybe if it came out right away, like if like it came out with the frame data of acid spit, it would be pretty good.
And NK9 NKX Reptile, the spit is great.
Yeah.
Here, I remember in MKX the optimal was to do spit.
Really?
So like when you did the flash combos, you would do spit, spit, and that was the optimal. But here in this game is like useless. So many useless moves.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
He had 2-4 maybe kind of useful, but
it was. And then remember the whiffing issues on 4-2-3, which he still kind of has a little bit. It was egregious though.
Still gonna have a little bit. Yeah.
He still like
all the time. I could see 4-2 go through people.
Yeah. It was like you would be like I still have like kind of a little bit like of almost like panic every time. It's just like, oh, is this gonna drop? Like there's like a little bit of like anxiety almost. Like, are they just gonna phase right through this? And it's so egregiously fucking end lag. Like you whiff it and they just get up and punish you full combo.
Yeah, and then you just die. Yeah. And it's funny that on PC for whatever reason, when you do the first combo of the match, I don't know if you noticed. Have you played on PC? Or do you play on PlayStation?
I play on PlayStation. Just PlayStation.
On PC, when you do the first 4-3, it always lags.
Really?
I don't know why. It always drops frame. I have no idea why. Every single time in every game, the first BNB will always lag. I don't know why.
Interesting.
So I'm always like the timing of the first combo. I'm always like hoping for the best.
Yeah.
4-3.
Yeah. It's like you have to do like
You
the
have to
weird
do
like
that.
to get the full BNB. You have to do like those dashes too. You have to like 4-2-3.
4-4-2.
Yeah, like slight forward dash 4-2. Like the amount of times I missed that like slight forward dash and like the force ball doesn't hit. And it's just like. Ugh.
Yeah. Dude, I can't believe we played with that awful 4-2-3.
Yeah.
That whiff all the goddamn time.
Yeah.
I my phone, I had a compilation of like 40 videos.
Yeah.
Of it just randomly whiffing.
Yeah. It was.
Where,
It was really.
Do you remember the 3 part with whiff, and that was so egregious because it would move their hitbox.
Yeah.
And you would see the knee hit them, move the hitbox, but don't count as a hit.
Yeah. It made no sense.
Oh my God.
It's like because it's like the 4-2 hits lower than the stand 3 because the stand 3 hits like so high that like you would just like fall in between it. When like most of the like other characters, like if they whiff the first part, at least the second part will hit. Like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, but no.
They didn't really spend a lot of time with him, but over time they've improved him a lot. Thankfully, it's a shame that I don't have the time that I allowed myself to have back then, participating in tournaments and stuff, and also the fact that all the biggie tournaments were canceled because of his medical issues. So it's a shame that the East Coast doesn't really have that much going on anymore.
Yeah, because it's
like major.
Yeah, because if you think about it, I mean. I could be wrong, but like tri-state area, like the New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania area is probably like the most dense region for like Mortal Kombat in the world, honestly.
It has been since NK9. Because we had a VSM and, the Combat Network kids like, Rio, Chris G, all these great players. It's all City Junior, Maxter, City Senior, Ray 48, all these super top players.
Wasn't Sonic Fox from New York City? Or...
Sonic Fox is from Delaware.
Okay.
But when they studied their degree, they moved to New York City.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
So,
I mean, pretty much.
there,
It was like in just like almost MKX. In just one. No. Maybe MKX.
Yeah. Prep is no. I'm sure. Never mind. I remember watching like the. What?
What? What you remember seeing? What?
I was saying like the NLBCs. I remember when I first got into like competitive MK. I remember watching those and seeing like players like being them like Gur and Sonic and Combat, Destroyer.
Yeah. Yeah. It's too long of a drive for me, and it's too late, and I'm not driving 2.5 hours.
Do they even do MK there anymore? Like,
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think the only one who's doing MK offline is Miguel.
Yeah.
With more community.
He's a trooper, man. Shout out to that man.
He's a trooper, but it is sad that I mean, we have like a strong 6 people going on every time, so that's good. I wish it was more, but you know what? In a way, I kind of understand why people didn't really love this game too much, and I don't think the DLC has helped because like every single time again. This has happened. It happened in Injustice 2, it happened in NK11, it happened in NKX, it happened in NK9. DLC is always insanely broken. I wonder why their development cycle allows for that.
I wonder because it seems like they try to make these like unique characters that have like these unique aspects, but those unique aspects end up being super broken. Like stance, command grabs, like like what? Like,
if you think about it, like okay, Kenshi in MK9.
Yeah.
Marshall Manhunter and Batgirl in Injustice 1, right? In MKX, I don't even remember what. Okay, I guess Millennium, but Millennium was super.
Okay, so who ended up being top tier?
Alien, Tanya, Predator.
Liu Kang.
Injustice 2, Captain Atom, whatever his name was.
Adam.
Fujin. Why?
I remember when Fujin first came out, people thought he was like bad. Like
because Dragon kept saying that you can just jump out of his strings.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, and people just thought it was like, oh, the juice wasn't worth the squeeze and stuff, and then it was like, I mean, I think customs helped him a bit because then you could use like Skywalker with Wind Push as well, instead of using having like, kind of like a useless variation on one push. So.
Yeah, Loki. I mean, I understand why they did it, but Loki, I didn't really love that.
Custom.
Yeah, because I think it was fine to limit what the characters could do. Because when they open the floodgates, it's like, okay, well, now there's just this one optimal way of playing the game.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I'm sure they expected, like, well, they're so everyone is so creative.
Yeah.
But, like, who was using drone Sonya?
Yeah.
You know, like...
Yeah, only if you're kind of memeing or whatever. Yeah.
Right, all these cookie moves that were kind of useless.
Yeah.
You would do the one optimal one.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, and it really
Which,
like.
you know, I mean,
I'm sorry,
what?
but I was saying it really like pushed like some characters over the top, and it kind of made characters like hyphen characters. So it's in like. I remember like they were like the joke he said that I make it was like, oh, this is a zoner grappler damage and gadget character.
I do love
that. It was kind of
I love
like
that joke because it is very obvious that they don't design characters attempting to match an archetype.
Yeah.
Which is like intuitively you would think it would be something like that, but that's not how it works at NetherRealm Studios.
Yeah.
They just make cool moves, and that's it.
Yeah.
There's no master plan of like this is the zoner and this is. I'm sure maybe they think about that, but it is very funny when they're like, okay, so guys, Stephanie here. We're gonna show you in the combat cast this new character. They're gonna be a zoner rushdown mixed character with setups, glass cannon with high defense and big damage, but it's like, all right,
multiple multiple command grabs.
Right. Like when Reiko, the grappler, was the best zoner in the game for a while.
And then they just
huge neutral, huge footies. Yeah, okay.
I think they fixed it. Fixed Reiko well.
Over time, they have taken their time and kind of gave a role to characters. Like Reptile felt so bad because he didn't really have a role. You know.
Yeah.
His zoning was
It was
terrible.
his game plan.
Up close, he was terrible.
Yeah.
Neutral, he had back three, and that's it. And that was,
How about
you know, you do it wrong and you die.
Yeah.
Right.
You back three,
So
and like
you
you're.
get three buff. They're like, okay, mid range, kind of neutral character.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Give him that role. Fantastic. You know. Reiko. They made the zoning kind of dog shit.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Now he's a footsie character with, who's a mix up close, who's very dangerous up close. I do think the cameos kind of go and shit over all the balance choices, though. But there are definitely moves that were designed to be very good and do very little damage.
Yeah.
Which is great. And then cameos are like, nope. Now this thing becomes high damage.
Yeah, now it's a combo extender.
Yeah, and then you got Terminator's command grab.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, all right.
So why does it launch? Why is it just like outright launch? Like I get like, well, at least with like ghost faces, like if you kind of like push them out and stuff like that, like Terminator just launches, bro.
I think Movado was really poorly thought out. I think Movado completely changes the meta.
Yeah, because
not for the best. It just like it makes characters insane. You know. And I think maybe the way you fix it is like you make it a little bit more skill based, that it like you have to confirm it, you have to do it ahead of time. Maybe you know, when Sonya or Melina, you know, you had to
you have to still spend it even if it doesn't hit, something like that.
Right, even if it doesn't hit, you still have to do it. Right, comes out something, maybe they should have kept that.
Yeah.
Why did they do it that if you don't hit it, it doesn't come out?
Yeah, because it kind of like breaks the idea of like there's the summon cameo and there's the ambush, and it's like Movado, like at least the combo extender part of it, like kind of breaks that, because it's like ambush comes out unless like you can do it whenever, as long as your character's not in hit stun. And summon comes out as long as you're like not in the middle, something like you're not getting hit, you're doing, or it's in the middle of a string or something like that. I'm not sure the exact terminology of how I would describe that other than how I did. But like Movado, it's like it only comes out if your opponent is launched in hit stun, which is like it's its own thing. It's not an ambush. It's not summon, like, what is it? Like,
And it's so funny that he's the only one that kind of works that way.
yeah.
It's like,
Yes.
okay, if I do sweep, very low reward, very safe thing, understandable. I should get not that much damage because I'm not risking anything by doing it. Of course, I do it at a range, but if I'm doing up close, then basic game design would tell you that should be low risk, low reward.
Yeah.
Mavado.
Launcher now.
High reward, no risk.
Yeah.
Like what? And then I just okay, then I just gonna wait a little bit for Mavado to come back and then do the no risk, high reward thing.
Yeah.
Why would you do that in a game? A fighting game? It makes no sense. It removes that decision making.
Yeah.
It turns into I will just do the one broken thing and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. The high risk or the high risk or the high reward no risk is, I think, really bad for fighting games.
Yeah, there's different levels of fighting game players, right? And then there's the ones that are, as you learn, you become better at this. But there's players that are not very fundamentally strong, but they do well. I'm not naming any names or trying to throw anyone. It's just that the natural evolution of a player. They will learn the one broken thing that their character has. One thing that is really, really good. And they will do that one thing. I'm not talking about maybe, this is not the top 25, top 16 players.
Yeah.
I'm talking like, pool monsters and stuff.
Yeah.
They will learn this one broken thing and do it over and over again, right? So I feel that's what people get stuck at. Because if you beat that one broken thing that they do, all of a sudden the entire game plan falls apart and it's very easy to beat, right? And that's what doesn't allow them to move beyond that, right? And I think when you create tools that are like these, where it's like, it doesn't matter the skill level, you can just take advantage of them, right? You're kind of doing a disservice to these players because you're not teaching them how to actually properly play the game in a way that will allow them to learn and become very strong players. They're just doing the one broken thing.
Very true.
I don't know if that I've made my point across, but
no, I think
I just don't like that part of Mortal Kombat 1 specifically.
Yeah, or it kind of allows for like people. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what you're going through, but like there's like the neutral skips, so it's like you kind of do this like thing that like skips the neutral and this kind of gets you the combo. And if it doesn't work, then you kind of you're still safe, so you just do it again the next time you have the opportunity to press a button.
Yeah. I just there's a lot of decisions that just infuriate me with this game. I really want to love it because it is a very solid game. It's a fun game. It allows you to be very creative, and it has its moments. But then it's like there's a team that is trying to sabotage it. Homelander camera in the state, did Movado without any thought process on how it would affect the game. The one that released the Water Shrine, and turns out it's just like the most useless.
Yeah, it's like the top 5 people in combat.
And
it still doesn't make sense because it's like more than 5 people get to 10,000 points every Combat League season. So like, who gets put on it, and like in what order, and like how is that determined?
And it's just like someone random Steam name or whatever. There's no like, oh yeah, that guy is so good. No, it's like, oh yeah, shoot, Gambler is there. Okay, whatever. But then like Little Bobby 6969.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is this person? He's there.
He's there.
There's games like Diablo where like the whole point of the game is the chase to be on the leaderboards, and I get that.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's like, the point of Mortal Kombat 1 is
to get on the Warrior Shrine, man.
The Warrior Shrine. It's like very misguided. It's like Invasions. It's like Invasions was very misguided.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I won't lie.
Thank God they did all these seasons. Can't wait to enjoy these 3 pictures of Liu Kang telling me about Nitara's invasion bullshit.
Yeah.
I wait to go home and you know what? Fuck all these games. What obscure Expedition Who Oblivion remake? Garbage. I'm gonna go play Invasions.
Yeah.
Season 17. That is actually season 3 again.
Yeah. To get skins that I
play against the AI.
Yeah. To get a skin, because I'll be real, I have not even clicked into Invasions. Like I literally haven't even like clicked where it says Invasion on the game. I haven't done it yet. Be real with you. I have.
You're missing out.
Am I?
You're missing
I'm missing out, man. From what I hear, no, I haven't heard a single person that has like said anything that would convince me that I'm doing something wrong. But
I'm sure for casual players it's a lot of fun, or like an hour.
Yeah.
And that's it. You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't have the charm of the Mortal Kombat 9 Tower, and it doesn't have any like story reasons to do it. You know, they really killed the story with this multiverse nonsense.
Yeah.
Because they remove stakes.
Yeah.
So like it doesn't matter if anyone lives or dies or where it goes.
Yeah, because they're just
nothing matters.
Yeah, there's
nothing
the timeline,
matters.
they can reset it, and that's why it's just like I don't know, man. Like
they really screw it there.
It's
not that I care too much about the story, but
yeah. Honestly, I haven't played Chaos Reigns. Honestly, I haven't. Have you played Chaos Reigns story?
I did, sadly.
Again, I've heard nothing that has made me feel like I need to play it.
I want to spoil the ending to the 10 million people that are watching. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler.
Okay?
Definitely turn it off right now.
Havik at the end gets the Kamidogu things, whatever.
Yeah.
And he rips his arm and then duplicates himself. And then he rips parts of himself and keeps duplicating himself. And you know how they beat him? They keep ripping his arms and legs until he gets very EP. And he's like, fine.
I'll take
I guess I won't become invincible anymore because you guys just punched me too hard. Punches are stronger than me getting dismembered. Actually, I don't know if you knew that. It doesn't make any sense. It's just like, no, I'm restrained. And that's it. I was like, but you just 5 minutes ago you were ripping your whole arm. It doesn't make any sense.
It's like they had to like just end it, you know, like it couldn't keep going. They just had to find a way.
They couldn't figure it out.
It's like
I honestly think they couldn't figure it out what to do with this.
They came out with the idea of Titan Havoc before they found out the ending. It's like, wait, how are we gonna kill someone who already dismembers himself and now is a god? How are we gonna do this?
You're 100% right. I'm pretty sure they didn't even have a script before they did the after credits cutscene.
Yeah, after credits cutscene, they're like, oh shit, okay, now we have to write a whole new whole story and stuff around that. Like, I think it's cool how they did like Sub-Zero. I thought that was like a cool idea. How they like, Noob, you know what I mean? Noob, that's what I meant. Like,
sure.
Because everyone has their new background story and stuff, so the way they like kind of got Noob wasn't just, fucking Sub-Zero died and they resurrected him. Now he's Noob. Like, I mean, I guess that was cool originally, but like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I just thought, I don't know.
Well, back in 99, it was fun because he has like, I have no flaws. That's so cool.
Yeah.
It was just the vibe. It was the cool vibes of NK9, you know. The story of NK9, it's dog shit, but it's endearing.
Yeah.
You know, full of blood holes.
Yeah.
And nothing makes any sense.
No.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
It's just raw fun. And then Chaos Reigns were like, we're gonna make this drama with Tanya and Rain, and we're gonna make them fall in love with these characters, and then kill them within 15 minutes after you met these fucking characters. So then, what was the point? What was the point of any of this?
Yeah, I really liked MK9's story because first MK I played was Ultimate UMK3, and just to kind of like go back and like see. I know they changed certain things and stuff like that. It's kind of like the point of it was like the type of Brayden's trying to change what happened, but kind of seeing like kind of some of the beginning story of like how Mortal Kombat happened and stuff like that. I think was a kind of cool idea. I think they probably should have just kind of went on and let it go and not just like, okay, we're gonna reset again. Now we're gonna reset again. now Liu Kang's Lord, reset again. Like.
They committed to it.
Yeah.
And said, okay, this is a real reset.
Yeah.
And that's it. They should have never made original Shang Tsung the bad guy. I think that was dumb. That was so stupid. Because then again, it just then it's not a reboot.
Yeah.
And it just it just feels cheap.
Yeah.
It just feels they kind of like blew it. They had a lot of goodwill with MK11 because the MK11 story was very good.
Yeah.
You know, it was not. You're not gonna win an Oscar, but it was fun.
Yeah.
had a lot of plot holes, sure, but it was fun.
Yeah.
It was endearing. You know, the Sonya Johnny thing was cool. They kind of trashed them in the DLC, and then nothing mattered there. But you know, it was fun little adventure. They should have been a fun little adventure as well.
Yeah.
And it was more kind of like a drag.
Yeah.
But the game is great, kind of.
Kind of.
It's almost great.
It's almost great. Kind of.
Free DLC.
It's alright. Post Reptile buffs pre right when between when Ermac came out and when Homelander came out, it was a really good time.
I do like the elbow dash buff. That was great.
Yeah, that was nice. I did that was something I've been asking for.
Yeah.
People were like, it should be full combo punishable. I'm like, bro, like, you can still just spend a bar meter. Now you have to spend a resource if you want to punish me. Full combo.
You have to react.
Yeah, like now I don't just die.
Yeah,
because
for using resources.
Yeah. Well, what character is literally dying off a non-launching amped move?
Yeah. They did change the properties. I even think that was like overkill. They didn't even need to do that.
Yeah.
I would have been happy had it just been safe.
Yeah.
You know, in Canine was plus.
Yeah.
That thing was plus.
Yeah.
Talk about, and he wasn't even top tier in Canine. Nobody complained about that, but for whatever reason, no, it was too much.
-5, it's egregious. For a bar of meter, you're -5 always, even if I fall pocket. That's ridiculous. That's too powerful.
But I do think he's in a good state now. I think, and you know what? Nobody really complains anymore. I do agree that people were a little bit overboard with the complaining, but not really, because he was just such a disappointing character.
Yeah.
And then, like, Sindel, meanwhile, character with, like, no, you know, gaps.
Yeah.
And vortex, and, you know, you could actually land combos with her and out of anything. And meanwhile, I'm dealing with this back to being -13.
Yeah, that's like, it's so, like, and it has, like, no hitbox. Like, it's so easy to whiff. Like, trying to, like, time the meaty, like, if they delay wake up, like, it's just, like, you're just gonna whiff. Or if you time it too late, then you're just gonna hit with, like, wake up buttons or something. And or if they just block it.
It was painful to compare, you know, all these characters like Johnny with Reptile. Because I played with Mike a lot, and it was just like, like, he gets super mode, whatever,
hype meter.
mode, hype meter, whatever. So it's like, he's already a character that gets all these plus frames, all these great conversions, great damage, great cameo, you know, chemistry and everything. Plus, he gets hype mode, which makes it even better.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, I get back 3-1. That's it.
And remember, if you used to play Mike, like, you could parry. Remember, Johnny could parry the back 3-1.
Back 3-1.
Yeah.
You couldn't use it in the corner.
It was the one string I had in Johnny. That matchup was like 8-2. Like, I had to be like, it was really bad.
Good. I did good, but I think you just have to do good using the power of will.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't think you can.
It's crazy how we both. I mean, NEC wasn't like as big as like it used to be, but we both did pretty good with 3 months. Into the game, Reptile. I don't know.
It was the first time Wraith beat me, and then I could never beat him ever again.
Yeah, and now Wraith is God.
Yeah.
Remember, you're like, I'm not afraid of Wraith, and then you lost, and then it's like, yeah, no Wraith.
Yeah, we're playing Mortal Kombat New Jersey all the time, and I will beat him all the time. And then since NEC, I lost that one time. They nerfed the shit out of Kung Lao, and then never again.
Never again.
Ever.
Yeah.
I always said, like, the moment they nerf Kung Lao is the moment this character is dead.
Yeah.
And I just could not do anything after that. And thank God he got the Standing 3 buff afterwards, but I wish he had those tools with Kung Lao.
Yeah.
Because Kung Lao just complemented him so well.
I like Striker. I thought Striker worked really well with him because you can just keep all the stuff safe. It's kind of a similar concept.
I never found my footing with Striker. I do remember you telling me about it. And or the solution Kenshi is Striker. I'm like,
yeah,
another fucking dumbass character.
Yeah, that character was crazy. He's probably fine right now. It's actually insane how, like, literally every single Kenshi dropped the character. Like, you just, which I'm happy about. I don't have to play Kenshi anymore. Like, I am for it, bro.
Yeah,
like,
I'm happy. Maybe he requires a little bit of, like, execution to work with him, but I don't understand why people drop him, because he's still kind of crazy.
Yeah,
you know,
it's just that, like, I don't know, like, because people are already kind of like, oh, he's like, they all thought he was like bad, like, legitimately. Like, I'm pretty sure like every Kenshi player legitimately thought he was bad. So, like, when they nerfed him, they were like, oh, he's just dead. But like,
Yeah, well,
there's always like that moment when your character gets nerfed where like everyone's like convinced they're like when T1000 got like that nerf, everyone's like,
yeah, that
character's
yeah.
not even good anymore.
You're useless.
Like home,
You're useless.
yeah. What do you mean? Like
Home there.
what? Like now it's like somewhat of a risk to do your 5-way mix-up, like.
Like tap in the shoulder, in the hand. I mean, to be fair, history does repeat itself because like in MK9, people would also say that Cyrax was not that good.
Yeah.
People used to say that Sonya was a bad character.
Yeah.
Sonya! 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 Do you not see with your eyes? Sonya?
Yeah.
Armor launcher that is -4?
Yeah. I
He has
remember.
a 5-frame startup dive kick that is safe that launches.
Yeah.
And you finish into a restand. And then she gets plus pressure. She can do military stand, the high profiles, everything. That leaves her plus. That you have to get into a safe 50-50. And then she can just do, if you decide to press a button, she can do an armor cartwheel that launches that is -4.
Sounds fair.
These characters terrible.
Yeah.
Man, how dumb they were.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like Cyrax. They used to say Cyrax was bad.
Yeah. They had like
Cyrax
actual like
player.
touch of death, right? Like,
Cyrax players genuinely thought they were like, we just need to play.
yeah.
We're playing every game.
Yeah.
95% BMBs, yeah.
Yeah. It's like yeah.
MK9 Cyrax was a lot of fun because every patch, it would be like, you guys are done.
They would get rid of
This
it.
this is the patch that Cyrax dies. And then they would patch the reset.
Yeah.
And then within an hour,
They would find a new one.
another more fucked up reset.
Yeah.
And then every single patch was like that, you know. I do remember the last patch that MK9 received was in October of 2011, and it was like this is the patch where Cyrax died, and people were making threads about rest in peace Cyrax, you know, whatever. And then it launched, and they were panic.
Like
Panic
she's dead.
Oh,
He's
no,
dead.
He's dead now. And then
Someone find it
who
broke
was
reset.
I think Tony T or whatever. Not 30 minutes later, 120% combo. Like it was even worse.
It's just
Oh
getting
my
worse and worse.
And then they found the breaker launcher combo, so you couldn't break against Cyrax anymore. Dumbass character. And they would, if you were to speak with like Crazy or Maxter, they would say like, no, Cyrax is mid tier. Generally, that was not that
Like,
great.
how do you get the
It's
first
like,
opening? Like, how do you like?
He doesn't have neutral. Exactly, he doesn't have neutral.
That's the whole Kenshi argument. That's the whole Cyrax in this game argument too.
How do you open people? Yeah, mind you, he has a command grab.
Yeah.
Plus frames. Nobody has plus frames in Mortal Kombat 9 except the top tiers. And Cyrus has plus frames.
Yeah.
Animation pose. Animation weight. And whatever. Oh my god.
Would you say MK9 is your favorite MK game?
To play, yeah.
Yeah.
What was that for MK9? I mean, I can appreciate that it's a very busted game. But I think it was because of the period of my life when I was playing it that made it so special. And of all the people that I met, and everyone was very chill, you know.
Yeah.
We didn't know that many crazy people back then.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Yeah.
It's definitely the game that I enjoyed the most playing.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
That's probably what
NKS was fun, and NKS was probably my most successful game with Sector.
Yeah.
But NK9 was the most fun.
Yeah. I remember you said you were talking about how you were kind of like you almost had there's an alternate timeline where you made top 8.
Well,
at
I
Evo.
medal.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. Evo 2016, had I beaten Red Raptor, I would have gotten an Evo medal. Because I got 17th there. Or 16? One of them.
With 17
And-
place, yeah.
FD Pro 17, yeah. And I had to beat Red Raptor. I had beaten Bandera, I had beaten PL, I had beaten what's his name? Boogie, a bunch of top players.
Yeah.
I was on a roll. I don't know why I was doing so well. I was playing like
How do you mind?
immaculate.
Yeah.
Except Hayate. I played like ass against Hayate.
Yeah.
But I was so nervous because it was on stream and we had like 100 people behind us, and I fucking hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that so much. I can never tune it out. So got my ass kicked, whatever. And then I made my way to losers, and then the path to top 8 was if I beat Red Raptor, I had to beat Scar, and then I would make top 8. And at that point in time, Scar, he was playing Sonya.
Mm.
And he hadn't learned smoke yet.
Mm.
And Vector demolished Sonya.
Mm.
It was like a 7-3 matchup. Because, she had the stupid, I don't know if you've ever seen old MKX videos, but her whole point was just throwing the bombs.
Yeah.
She couldn't do that against Sector because Sector would just zone the shit out of her. And then if she even got like anywhere near close to do any sort of moves, you could just do instant air dash. So she could never get in. If she tried to press a button, I had my rockets ready, because of the nature of how her normals move. I could always get away with doing up rocket, and then she would move forward to beat me, and she would always hit. Always hit. It was atrocious for Sonya. She could not enforce pressure against Sector. Like, it was just a bad matchup. And I would just demolish every single Sonya that stepped in my way. Like, what it easy. And but Red Raptor, admittedly, he's extraordinary. And he did beat me with fucking Takeda's fun blockables left and right.
Was it that close up?
I think it was like 3-2. I don't think it was like 3 or anything. I think it was very close. Yeah. I was kind of defeated at the end because I was like,
I deal with this.
at least I made it this far, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah. In hindsight, yeah, no, like I've had plenty of tournaments. Funny enough, Combo Breaker 2018, which is kind of what got me into like the NRS scene. I remember I went to play in a Melee tournament there, and I was doing super good. I lost to like Ginger, who's like top like 20 player in the world, and I was like I won a bunch of winners match, won a bunch of losers matches, and I was like, I'm very happy, with how I did. If I lose this next match, completely fine. And then I'm after, like how Melee works, but I played a Jigglypuff, and I had the lead. I lost game 1, won game 2, game 3. I had the lead the whole time. It was winning, doing super well, and then I got up tilt rested at 0%, and that just auto killed. So I just died. And I remember like, I am devastated. I am devastated. Right? I am not happy with how I did. This sucks. Like, and the person, like, literally, I think I got 17th. The person that the Jigglypuff played was a guy I already beat. So, and it was like a matchup that was super well. And so if I got past that, I would have made it like super far. And I was like, oh man. Sometimes whenever I've had that moment of, wow, I'm happy, I'm okay if I lose, I'm always pissed if I lose right after, like 100% of the time.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's fun. There's those sets that you remember that are like, where you don't know what to think, because it's like, what is the right way of thinking about this?
Yeah.
Do I chill? Do I stress out about it?
Yeah.
Do I really try? Like, what is the right way?
Yeah.
And I've been playing for 14 years, and I've never been able to discover what is the right mindset.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'm like super stressed out and I'm like shaking,
Yeah.
and you're like trying to do the combos, and you're like, oh, I gotta press the button.
Yeah.
And I've done excellent, and I've done terrible.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like super chill about it, and just no matter what happens, I have fun and do extraordinary.
Yeah.
And top 6 Mr. Aquaman qualifier, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what the mystery is.
Yeah. I would say, like, in terms of like how well like I personally do, I've always felt like, I've had really good runs, really bad runs, flown across the country, done terrible, flown across the country, done amazing. But like, I feel like whenever I have kind of had this, like, I don't really care, like when I going into it, like afterwards sometimes I'll be upset. Like if I could feel like win or lose, I'm fine. It's usually when I play my best. But sometimes when you kind of have like, oh, I really want to do well, or like you kind of like the nerves and stuff like that. It's different, like you said. Like you haven't mastered yet, neither have I. But like I just feel like whenever I've had really good runs, usually it's like, oh, I have like, if it's like an online tournament, it's like, oh, I have something to do right after this. Like I'm hoping I get out so I can go do it. I do amazing every time, 100%. I'll make it way further. I'll play like someone I've never beaten before. Be like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna lose that. I win, and then it's like, okay, yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. It just happened to me when I started entering NK1 a lot online at the beginning of the game. And I was like, alright. Only 11 hours.
Yeah.
It's easy. I'm just gonna lose, move on, whatever. Yeah. Second place.
Yeah, and it's
like at 11 p.m. and we're not done, and that was my entire day.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It's like your whole day. It's like, because my girlfriend will ask me, it's like, when's it gonna be done? When are you gonna be done? I'm like, I don't know. Like, it could be 30 minutes. It could be 5 hours. Like, you just have no idea.
That's why I stopped. It's just because it was just a day. The day just goes in doing a
You
goddamn
work,
tournament.
you go home, you play a tournament, and that's the entire day.
Yeah, no.
And you're going to sleep later. Late.
Yeah.
Like,
It's not going to the gym, not enjoying your evening, not doing your laundry or whatever.
yeah.
So,
You literally get nothing done. Like, you can't even cook dinner. Like
midnight.
yeah, exactly. You're going to sleep.
No,
Here.
that's why I'm like, okay, I'll do the offline ones, but you know, because right now everything's too expensive and too dangerous, and I'm not even going anywhere anytime soon.
Same.
Maybe stuff gets better next year, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Is what it is. Yeah. I mean, like, so I've gone to a bunch of events. Like, I could literally I'll pull this out real quick. I'm not sure if you have. You probably have something similar, but or just like all the events I've been to. Literally just like
wow, that's too many.
It's too many. It's too many. It goes like all the way in. Yeah. It's too many. You were like, oh.
It's in the background.
Yeah. So you have yours, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So it's like.
Oh my god, how do I even take them out? There's too many. Terrible mistake.
Cossner went invisible.
Yeah, I'm invisible right now. Uh-oh. Well, they're very wrapped up.
Yeah. What's the mix-up? His invisibility is better than Smoke's invisibility.
Quality television. Alright, I'm not gonna do it. It's over there. It's over there.
Okay.
It's wrapped up.
Yeah.
I'll show you later. Yeah, no, but it is the exact same thing. Like a giant, again, 15 years of tournaments.
Yeah.
I do have my medals over here. The medals, I think, are more accessible.
Yeah. I'd say all this is not a major top 8 for me, at least. Like I've gotten medals from like, it's like every time I have achieved like that, like a top 8, it's always been like, well, the tournament's just a regional. The tournament's. It was just like, that's a regional. It's like, what identifies? It's like, every time that's considered a major. Never. Combo Breaker 2023, I got 9th. That's like.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
I think it's just, it's a hobby, and you just do it to prove yourself that you're okay.
Yeah.
You're okay at pressing buttons.
Yeah.
And it's fun to get some small amount of validation here and there, you know.
Yeah.
I love when I hear like, oh, when I went to CEO, this is a fun start.
Yeah.
When I went to CEO 22, it was right after the pandemic. I don't remember if it was 22 or 23. And it was like the last one for MK11. And I don't remember who, Dr. Wu or something. I remember him. He was like, oh, I used to watch MKX when I was a child, and I remember, watching your games. And I'm like, MKX wasn't even that long ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh wait, it was 8 years ago, and this guy is like 18.
Yeah, so he was a
So that
child.
means he was 10.
Yeah.
And so he was watching the tournaments when he was at 10.
Yeah, like not knowing what's going on. Like, oh, that's Cossner.
And I'm like, oh, I trained to dust. Because, now that generation is the age that I was when I started playing. So.
Yeah. It's
crazy.
It's funny. I have this friend who I've been competing in Melee since 2016. And I have this friend who I've been traveling all over, like upstate and honestly like the country. And this friend who's like from Buffalo, who's been around kind of a similar time, and she was like, Poseidon's like playing like better than he ever has, and like he's been playing this game since before you guys were born. And this is at an SU, like Syracuse University college tournament, so like a lot of people there are college age and stuff like that. And I'm like, I thought it was just like an over exaggeration that's kind of making a joke. And the thing is, like, Melee came out in 2001.
2001?
So
4 years
I
ago?
I was like, I played the game when it came out. And I was like, that's not an exaggeration. No, I was literally been playing this game since before they were born. I thought it was just like, people say like this, like, oh, you sat next to Jesus in first grade or whatever, like, what I mean? Like,
I wonder what's gonna happen when we're like older and we're still playing this thing and we're like in our 40s.
Yeah.
I wonder if we're gonna go insane, like certain players.
Yeah.
I went insane.
Yeah.
in gas stations.
yeah. I said like.
I wonder what is it gonna be like.
Yeah.
Because it is a little bit. There's a little bit of a weird factor of like, let me just play a set with this 16-year-old over here.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like,
I
don't
mean,
know,
like,
when I go out of a restaurant afterwards, like,
I'm 40. Yeah.
yeah, no, it's a strange.
Yeah, I haven't noticed
age gap
that.
over there.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, because there's like it's funny because like the guy I used to run Smash tournaments with was like he was like in his 30s when I was running the tournaments with him, and there was like this kid who was his tag was Soul Crusher. It was just like a kid. Like literally, his dad would go to the tournaments with him. He was like 10 years old, maybe right. Younger than that. And it's just funny, like entering the same tournament is like this 8-year-old kid and this guy who was like into his career, like out of college 10+ years, and they're both entering the same tournament, doing the same thing, like trying to do the same thing. It's just,
I think it's part of the magic of it, but it is it's certainly something. I don't know how to describe it. It is you have like these little cliques and little groups of like social groups, parasocial groups that get formed, I guess.
Yeah.
So I just try to stick with my friends, you know, same people I've been hanging out with for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
I like when new people get introduced, you know. Yeah, exactly. No, I love hanging out with new people, and for example, the people in Mortal Kombat New Jersey, they're all wonderful. You know, the Mises and you know the Stellis and the Silence and that sort of stuff. Like, great. I love hanging out with them.
Yeah,
they love playing the game. You know, we can kind of like the common ground is the game.
Yeah, and
then you create friendships of that. So I do like that. I don't like when people take it too seriously and they're like, not necessarily, I'm going to make a career out of it, but when they see their value as a person on the game, which happens way too often. And it's, maybe we don't talk about that as much, but it's you know, maybe we should talk about it because it's, you know, a lot of very young people that are entering the social group that they may not necessarily be, you know, the popular kid or whatever in their school, and then they come over here and they're winning or whatever, and all of a sudden they're like hot shit.
Yeah, it's like
they kind of put too much worth on it. Yeah. Not only on themselves but on other people, and they're like, oh, well, you're an O on tour, you're less than a human.
Yeah.
And you know, and it happens, and you know, there's certain people that are older that still do that.
Yeah. That
post on Twitter all the time.
Yeah.
And it's just that very toxic aspect of fighting games, and I think we should also, all heads and all people should remind them that it's a hobby.
Yeah.
And you should have your career and you should have your real life.
Yeah.
And then, you know, a couple hours, play the game.
Yeah.
Go to your tournaments, have fun, meet people, have friends. You know, this is a hobby.
Yeah.
This should not be your life. You should not dedicate your life to this. You will get nowhere.
Yeah.
The only good thing that can come out of this is the friendships and the people they will meet, and that's it.
Yeah.
You're not gonna become a famous streamer. You're not gonna make millions of dollars from these Saudi Arabian sponsors. Like that is not gonna happen.
You're truly devastating me right now, Cossner.
No, I mean, you know, there's thousands of people that play these video games. You have to be a prodigy Sony Fox level to be able to, you know, make any sort of profit out of these. So it's like, again, it's not always just monetary. I think it's also like the social aspect of it. It's like, you know, it's not about the egos. It's just about that you don't know how to handle the worth of. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like,
because it's like
the game is not even.
Yeah, I think that's very important. Because the thing is, like, in order to get good at these games and to actually go to these tournaments and do well, you have to put a lot of time into it. Like, I kind of like, because sometimes you get caught up in like the chase of wanting to do it, and like, you know, I don't put like a ton of my self-worth on it, but it's just like, oh, I want to like go to these tournaments, but it's like, oh, I want to do podcasts, but oh, I want to stream. It's like, oh, but I want to run tournaments, you know, and it's like, why? It's like, why am I? It's like I wanted to like do it to give back, but it's like I have personally for me, I have a bad habit of kind of just like saying yes to every opportunity. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, do you want to come commentate on the tournament? It's like, yeah. It's like, oh, do you want to play in this tournament? It's like, yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, there's a pro tour coming on. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go to all the tournaments. You know, it's just like I kind of like, and it's not even like I like put too much of my value on it or stuff like that. It's just like, why would you put so much time in? I feel like there's probably other people that have kind of like similar things. You know what I mean? Because like you've traveled, like you've flown across the country to play the game and stuff like that. You know, you said was it the first time you came to America? Was to play MK?
Oh.
Are you about
yeah, I've been in America before. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. The first time I ever went on a plane was to play Smash.
But the thing about it was that when I moved here, my friends were Mortal Kombat people.
Yeah.
The people that helped me settle were Mortal Kombat people, right? Because I didn't know anyone. It's a new goddamn country. You don't know how it works, and it works different. The way people think is different. The way you see everything is very different than in Mexico. So it was very nice that when I came here, I already have a massive group of friends.
Yeah.
That were there for me, that I could rely on. So that was what was very special about it. It was really not like, this guy isn't even making top 8, and how did you get top 3 at what, No, it was not about that. It was about like, hey man, you take care of each other.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
Because you're not living with the parents anymore. They're in another country.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing their business and trying to be adults and trying to live through their life. And it's very nice that it's like, I have Frank here that I met playing Mortal Kombat, and I was like, hey, I need a ride. Can you help me out here? I'm like, oh yeah, sure. It's like, and can you fit my cat? No problem.
Yeah.
It's not about just that.
That's
It's just about like, you take care of each other.
Yeah.
And it's about the friendship. And that's the most valuable thing that you can get from this thing.
100%.
It's not the money.
Exactly.
It's not the prop. It's not people sucking your dick because you're very good with Melina or whatever. And it's about the friendships that you make.
Yeah. Well, I think that's like, I feel like I have gotten a lot out of this, and I feel like it's like, it's like why you like TO? It's like you TO because you want to give back to the community. You want to be able to kind of organize it and have the group. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's cool, like to do the podcast. It's because I want to give the people that I have met an opportunity to kind of like tell their story, because it's all kind of different. But at the end of the day, everyone has such different backgrounds, but we're all here to play the game.
I like that because I do like I got so much from the community, the positive aspects of it. Now I want other people to also have access to that. And it's not a magic. It doesn't, it's not magically gonna be there.
Yeah.
Someone has to put it up.
Exactly.
Right? That's why, me and Miguel did the original Mortal Kombat New Jersey stuff. Because we wanted to have a local.
Yeah.
A nice local where we could, share the love for Mortal Kombat. And I love that. Back then we used to have podcasts all the time. We used to have this, we used to have that, and whatever. So it's kind of like the passing of the torch. And it's what makes it very fun to be part of this group of friends.
100%. I can completely get with that, because you said I think it's cool to have these like pro tour events, and it's like kind of worth like flying out to these events and stuff like that to compete. But like when people were kind of waiting around like, oh, the scene's dead, I'm not going to compete until tour, it was just like, we are the community, the people who play the game. So it's like we either show up or we don't, Because at the end of the day, like I'm not, if I play my absolute best, maybe I'll get 7th place and I'll get $20. like, oh yeah, amazing! Like
my job.
That I may be only negative $1,000, not negative $1,020. Like,
so I have a lot of thoughts about that because I do. Okay, I think there needs to be an understanding that the tournaments that Warner Brothers organizes are first and foremost a marketing tool, right? They don't do it because they really love the community. And
they don't.
Gonna bring millions of people to watch this, and it's a new sport.
I love it.
There's a great book called Play Nice, which is the history of Blizzard, and they talk about their esports efforts. Because Bobby Kotick wanted to Heroes of the Storm be like the new, huge thing, or an Overwatch. I think they did the Overwatch League, and they treated players like the NFL. They used that NFL model of having like the teams and the owners, and he got millionaires to invest on it, and there was a lot of hopes in it, and it failed catastrophically. Everything that you saw about these huge prices and these super inflated numbers of millions of people watching, All marketing.
Mhm.
None of it was real. It was not a sustainable business model.
Mhm.
You guys should read that book. It's great.
Mhm.
But and I remember Overwatch is like, wow, what a success. I wish fighting games were like this.
Yeah.
So many viewers and everything. And turns out, even if they had 1 million viewers, they
Yeah.
were not making any money.
Yeah.
They were not making any money.
Yeah.
It was just a marketing tool for the game.
Yeah.
It never became what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people here that have that expectation. There's like, I will play. This will turn into the next NFL.
Yeah.
It's not, man. It's not. It is just a group of friends that give back to the community, and that's what's fun about it.
Mm-hmm.
These last pro competition stuff, it was there's certain things I cannot say, but let's just say that there was not a lot of buyout to actually organize it, but it happened because of the will of people who truly love the community.
Yeah.
I remember that they gave him a lot of shit because, sure, it was very rushed and there was not a lot of money or anything like that, but it happened because people really loved the community and wanted something to happen, because it was either that or nothing. So very disappointing that they got a lot of like negativity from it.
Yeah.
Because once you know all these people, then you realize like, oh no, they're doing it on spite of what they companies attempting to do. So I feel I feel bad for them, but I do give them a little bit of credit. There's it can be like it used to be, Mortal Kombat 11 or MKX, because that effort and those people are not there anymore, and it will never be like that unless, of course, there's someone else in the future that has these delusions thinking that this will be the next big NFL or whatever. It's just not gonna happen, man.
Yeah, like
It will not happen.
Smash community, the Melee community has you know Ludwig.
Big fan tournament. Was that?
Do you know who Ludwig is? He's like a really huge content creator streamer.
Well, he began in Smash, but now he's
But he'll just randomly just come in and be like, oh, there's a thing used to call Super Smash Con. It's called Supernova now because for licensing reasons. And he's like, all right, every person, it's free to play Melee there, and every person that signs up will be $10 into the pot, but you don't have to pay for it. In an attempt to try to make it, but you just kind of need unless someone is really willing to be like, I have money to blow and I love the community and I know there's gonna be no ROI on this, but it's kind of even when it's I put up pop bonuses for tournaments, it's I don't get any return. I put up $200-$300 that I want to have people drive a couple hours away so we can all play MK for a little bit.
Yeah. I think we used to do that for Mortal Kombat New Jersey. We used to rent the Cambria Hotel. And we used to pay for the ballroom, and they used to pay for Facebook ads just to get people to show up and stuff, right? And we bought all this equipment and stuff. But it's I never saw any of that money back.
Yeah.
But it was fine.
Yeah.
Because it's giving back to the community and giving this a safe space to meet all these Mortal Kombat people that are extraordinary and they're very talented. But yeah, so the pro competition, I'm very glad that the second round it has a little bit more momentum behind it, and they're doing it a little bit of a better job with it. It's just very funny to see Tekken Master be like, why are they not paying me $3 million? It's from where? Where is this magical prize pool money gonna materialize from? Where did you think it was coming from before?
Yeah.
Marketing money. They don't have marketing budget now.
Yeah.
So even if you have 10,000 people watching Combo Breaker, and each one gives $1 each or in ads for $10, you're not even gonna pay for the venue. You're not even gonna pay for the internet of the venue.
Yeah.
And then you want players to have a $10 million prize pool? Again,
fly out
just
for free.
do a little bit of thinking, and where's this money coming from?
And it's
where's this mystical esports money coming from?
I remember, I'll say but I was working with this esports org, and they were talking about how they had this sponsor who stopped pretty much all together, stopped sponsoring esports events because they put $10,000 into this event to advertise this thing, and it resulted in 10 sales. $10,000 translated to 10 sales, and so it's is like a crazy loss, and that's usually it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, you can do the good old reliable Coca-Cola kind of stuff, which is like what Little League volleyball events do and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So, that sort of stuff works. But if you're trying to get anything other than that, like, no, that's not how it works. Gamers are not famous for spending a lot of money.
They're not.
Like everyone remembers how wonderful it was to do bedroom sets and have 17 dudes cram in a single bedroom and playing sets, whatever. But it's because 17 dudes could not afford to pay for their own room. They did not have the money to do that.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. They're not a market, you know.
That's why when I went to NAC, I stayed at your place. I want to pay for the hotel.
More than welcome. More than welcome. But I mean, sadly, ECT is not gonna happen this year.
Yeah, we have nothing.
Because they used to. I mean, let's be serious here. Most of it grew a lot to what it was.
Yeah.
Last one was huge compared to the previous ones, and even Combo Breaker and Evo and CU have grown so much to what it used to be.
Yeah.
Like I could have never imagined it was gonna get to that scale. And the thing about ECT, I mean, I'm talking out of my ass. Talk to Katamari if you want to know the reason why. But I'm guessing that most of the way they would get money to pay for the venue and the equipment and the people and staff and everything was probably through merchandise. Through the shirts and the posters and pins and all that stuff. Sure, they got sponsors and everything, but I'm guessing most of the shirts and stuff. And I mean, even it was like $120 to sign up. Which is crazy. And I'm pretty sure they were not making a profit or very slim profit. And now with the tariffs, like all the places where they used to make the shirts and stuff, they're charging
ridiculous
double the amount.
Yeah.
Who's gonna pay $100 for a T-shirt?
I
$120.
wasn't paying $40. Like you said,
This one was what?
gamers
the
are
Combo Breaker
not
one,
known for
right?
dropping stacks,
This was the Combo Breaker one, and it was like way too expensive, but it's very nice.
Yeah.
But it was $500.
Yeah.
I'm insane for buying these.
Yeah.
I'm an insane person, but also I'm in my mid-30s and I have a pretty nice job.
Yeah.
So
like at this point, yeah, exactly. It's like,
but like a 19, 20-year-old, we have to afford these.
They can barely afford the red tree. You know what I mean?
They barely can. Yeah, absolutely. So like, if it was inevitable that it was gonna close with the current economic climate, and I mean, even before the tariffs, it was difficult. So it's just the community runs on the goodwill of people and older people that want to give back. Like WNF exists because of Alex Valle, because Alex Valle was a OG from the 90s who really loved fighting games and the community, and then made it happen. So
I mean,
UFC that turned into Combo Breaker through the love of the community, and it's a shame to see that. I mean, Big E used to run a lot of the East Coast tournaments, and there's no one taking over that role.
I think like if we are to have something big happen, I think it should just be an MKMJ, and just not to say like it needs to be like
4 or 5 people.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like we have to make like one event, and like
even
maybe put like a little bit of pot bonus and just try to get the people from the Northeast to come.
But we do
out.
we are relying on like the NGIT having the space for it, and we're sharing it with Street Fighter and Tekken and all the other games, right? Like it's not our pot.
Yeah.
It's just we just happen to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to do it. Is find an SGC event and like I tell people who like are trying to run. Yeah. Like, oh, I don't have a local. It's like, well, there's a few ways to do it. You either find like a place that's just willing to have you. You have like a basement. You have someone who just has a basement, or you find another FGC event. And just bring your monitor and say you run MK. Yeah. Maybe you get a few people through the door, and
that's what competitor Joe does, right? Like he brings a couple monitors to his place, and he gets like Demoralized and Forever King Jr. or Burrito Borges, and a bunch of other great players there, right? Yeah. So, I mean, you can do your own event in your own house.
Yeah.
Have a couple of dudes and a monitor. That's all you need.
I ran tournaments out of my frat house in college.
I love that.
Yeah.
Love it.
Mhm.
I used to do that here by from kicks.
Yeah.
Have strangers going to your house.
Yeah.
Strangers who were going to my house, and I would trust them to
Yeah.
not steal things from me.
Just because it was for that.
What an idiot!
Yeah, an idiot.
No, but it is it is what it is. I wish you can't really ask the younger members of our community to do a financial and time commitment to it. So it's just generally like a labor of love. And if you feel the what is the word, vocation for it?
Yeah.
Then very nice to do it. People will be very thankless about it,
Yeah.
but it will be nice.
Yeah.
You'll have the memories.
Yeah. That's basically what I've been doing.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Poseidon.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you for giving me this space and 2 hours of your time.
Yeah, I was about to say we should probably wind this down. This has been going on for a little while. This might be
We're almost done with it. Mortal Kombat.
I know, right? I've been looking in the background, like keeping up with it, see what's
Yeah.
happening. I saw
Yeah.
Titus get kidnapped by Baraka.
Kung Lao is about to get killed.
Oh shit!
No.
Classic.
Oh wait, no, they're gonna fight Shiva now.
Okay.
Because they're rescuing Kitana.
Oh, okay, word.
Anyway.
All right. Well, is there anything else before we're done here? You want to shout anything out, or anything you want to talk about? Anything you thought maybe I would ask that we didn't get to before we end it here?
I mean, no, this is your thing. I really appreciate you having me here. I don't really play the game that much, because of time.
Didn't you just win that Reptile vs Baraka team battle? Weren't you a vital part
I gotta
of
go
the
with Murder.
team?
It's very funny how it's probably spent a lot of time and hours playing it, and I just go and I saw them with Sonya.
Dude, the amount of overheads. We need to have I want to go back and just count how many overheads we hit, bro.
Oh my god.
So we're thinking so much work, dude. We were getting away with murder, bro.
I feel bad a little bit, but also like not really.
Dude,
Like
I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad at all, dude. That's like a kind of a matchup, Loki. Like,
no, it is.
No,
it
it
is.
is.
You can't wake up.
Yeah.
You can't do 4 balls.
yeah, the
where's my
pressure,
note?
Baraka pressure, like literally bad. Like, you can't
That's the
challenge
note.
anything.
That's
Like, like literally anything is just you're on block. Baraka is literally mashes their face on the controller, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
It's got attempt to close block and a hit and then need 45%.
Yeah.
No. I really wish I would spend more time. But
it's just hard.
when you grow up, it just
can't
you
prioritize
can't do
it.
it.
You know what I mean? You get your family,
I have
your job, you have other things.
Yeah, and I hope no, I don't expect NetherRealm to do what the community wants it to do.
Yeah.
They're gonna do their own thing. They're gonna create a product that
So
it's very successful, and that's it. And we're all kind of attach ourselves to it, independent from it. So I think the big takeaway is just enjoy the community for what it is. Don't worry too much about the game. Games come and go. You know how much time I spent worrying about Cabal in MK9 and Sinestro in Injustice 1 and Aquaman, and like, who cares? Who cares? You just move on. But you know who I remember? I remember Troy, Global Stroke, and Katie Smith, and Ribs, and Ray, and all these friends that I've made over the years. Those are the ones that I've kept. The Red Raptors and the Silver Rice, and all these great people, and George Gurr, and all these great people that I've met over the years that are great friends of mine. The games, again, they just come and go. Who cares? So I guess that's the takeaway. Very kind of depressing.
The takeaway is you'll never be anything in life, but you'll make some friends.
If you play as well, good for you. No one will remember in like a week.
Yeah.
So
That's for me, and you go over the results, compile it. I'll know
That's
who
right.
you are.
Well,
Poseidon will know who you are.
people still talk to this day to the guy that almost beat Rewind at ECT.
Yeah, and the guy that almost beat Rewind at Combo Breaker. Almost. My best win is a loss.
For a while, I was the guy who almost beat Scar in MKX in the Commonwealth in 2016.
Yeah.
Like it's always that. It's always the guy who almost beat someone else.
I almost beat Just Nasty, who got top 8. Like showdown. Almost.
Very good.
2-1.
Very
Classic.
Very good.
Throw the game away. Kill myself. 60%
But shout outs to Miguel for doing Mortal Kombat New Jersey. Shout outs to Walter and Katamari for organizing all our majors that are not happening this year, sadly. Good luck to everyone going to Combo Breaker and Evo and CEO. I'm not gonna be there. Make sure to get your real IDs.
Yes.
Don't fly from Newark.
Don't fly from Newark.
Yeah, Newark
that's
is chaos, man. So don't go there.
I was able to hang out with my buddy Cossner though for a second, dude.
Wait, when? Where?
Well,
What? Oh, it's right. You got super delayed.
I got
That's
stuck,
right.
yeah, in Newark, yeah.
What a nightmare. Yeah. Well, you made it home. You survived.
I'm not still in Newark.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, it wasn't that far away. Like, if it was to that point where I still couldn't find a flight, I would just rented a car or something. Like, it wasn't that. Took a bus. Like, it was not that. It wasn't that far. It wasn't like I was stuck in California or a different country.
Oh no, what a nightmare.
Right. But I was able to go to that Tuesday night tournament. That was funny. That was really funny how that worked out.
That's a lot of fun.
But thank you so much for coming on, Cossner. I took definitely way too much of your time. I am a fellow Reptile player, the Reptile GOAT, over the past generations of the NRS games.
Yeah, I hope someone wants to listen to us complain about launch Reptile.
Yeah. There'll be someone. There'll be like a couple Reptile players like, yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Like 3. Like Crossy. I'm sure Crossy will be in the comments. Yeah, dude, I can't believe you're still playing this character.
That's right.
All right. Well, it was nice. So it's a nice talking to you, and I'll see you guys at the next video. Bye.